Welcome to the Black Duck Revival Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Wilkins. I'm excited to have you join me as I speak with a fascinating collection of folks, all of whom have in common that they've made a way for themselves by finding an intersection between thoughtful consideration and the tactile work of getting their hands dirty. This is an examination of intention, capability, and craft. It's where philosophy meets the blue-collar work ethic and where I find real value. The 2023 Black Duck Revival Turkey Tour is brought to you by Rome Adventure Company, makers of high-quality and rugged outdoor gear to get you where you want to be on all your vehicle-based adventures. I've got the Black Duck Revival van outfitted with the Vagabond XL tent that sleeps 3 to 4 people. It's got a 3-inch high density foam mattress, very comfortable, and an anti-condensation pad to keep you warm and dry. Takes just 5 minutes to set up and another 5 to put back in the morning, and you're on your way to wherever the road might take you. Please check out Rome Adventure Company at romeadventureco.com. Get on the road and make the most of it. The Black Duck Revival Podcast is sponsored by our friends over at Hunters of Color. Hunters of Color is a 501c3 nonprofit. They're the only nationwide hunting nonprofit led by BIPOC for BIPOC. They're working on increasing Black, Indigenous, and other peoples of color participation in hunting for the sake of conservation, food sovereignty, and to preserve our ancestral traditions. They do that by focusing on their 3 pillars, which is mentorship, conservation, and education. Actually, right now, I'm in California chasing turkeys with my good friend and co-founder of Hunters of Color, Jimmy Flatt. Last night when we were drinking some beers, Jimmy told me that last year, Hunters of Color was able to get 1,000 new folks out into the field to learn about hunting, conservation, and what this is all about and why it's so important to all of us. So if you want to get involved with Hunters of Color, if you want to support that good work that they're doing, check them out at their website. It's huntersofcolor.org or on all social media platforms. Hunters of Color. Now to the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Black Duck Revival Podcast. This week we have an event. This is the first repeat guest on the Black Duck Revival Podcast. It's my good friend Jay Beyer of Salt Lake City, Utah. Absolutely one of my favorite people on the entire planet. So kind, so tough, so smart and creative, and just an absolute pleasure to be around. I got to spend a week in the van. I picked him up in San Antonio, and we hunted Texas, we hunted New Mexico, we hunted California. He's absolutely one of my favorite people. He's such a good dude. He's such a force for good in the world, an amazing artist, an amazing photographer, an amazing father and friend. And we just have a really great conversation, kind of expanding on what we talked about in our first interview and just like where he's at in life, some of the stuff that I am really inspired by, some of the aspects of his life that inspire me and kind of help me to push myself to be a better member of this outdoor industry, or rather hunting industry, and just like a better father and a better husband and a better friend. And man, he's got an amazing community. He's got amazing friends and amazing places, and he's just a great dude. So please enjoy this conversation with my dear friend, Jay Beyer. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Black Duck Revival Podcast. Today I am in Sacramento, California, in perhaps the nicest hotel room I've ever been in, here at the Holiday Inn by the airport. And I'm joined by one Jay Beyer, the first repeat guest on the Black Duck Revival show. This is a very big occasion for this podcast. Jay, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So Jay's we're here in Sacramento because Jay's gonna get on a plane in the morning and head back to Salt Lake for like a day before he leaves again.
Yep.
Headed to Hawaii to go kick it with Justin Lee and Lindsey Davis and a bunch of cool folks and spearfish and hunt pigs and goats and all sorts of stuff. But the last week, Jay and I have been together in the BDR van. Picked him up in San Antonio, only 5 hours late, last Wednesday, and we made our way we got to this ranch in Texas at like 11 o'clock at night, met some dudes we never met before that turned out to be rad, killed some turkeys that next morning, and then made our way to West Texas, then New Mexico, hunted there for a day, then stayed in Arizona in the desert, and then got into California to hook up with our buddy Jimmy Flatt of Hunters of Color. And yeah, we've been chasing turkeys in wine country for the last 2 days on a really pretty chunk of ground. And yeah, man, I've been having an absolute ball, man. This is, you know what I realized? We made it the entire trip. We never turned the radio on one time.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty impressive. I thought that 3 days ago.
Yeah, just chatting, man.
Yeah, that we're not going to have anything to say on this because the least amount of conversation we had is from Sonoma to here.
Yeah, you're right. It is
like, okay, we're both out of stories.
It's starting to run out. Yeah, it is starting to run out.
This will be a real quick podcast.
I pulled up when we walk in here. I'm telling a story from high school. It's like I'm done with everything recent and relevant. But no, man. I mean, so I'm like 25% of the way through what has now been renamed the Turkey Bebop. And man, it's going to be hard to keep up with this. This has been like an absolute fucking blast. Running into really cool people like everywhere we go, and like drastic changes in topography and temperature and what it looks like.
Prickly things and
non-prickly
things.
You got a bunch of cactus spines in the old buttocks.
Yep, that's nice. Those will stick around for a while.
Yep, and then the next morning, a day and a half later, it was like 29 degrees. We're hunting up in the mountains.
It was awesome.
That was a really, really pretty place. The only part that sucked about it was the wind, because that wind was like oppressive.
Oh, in New Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the place, once we got down the bottom, man, it was so pretty.
It was amazing.
Snow on the ground still.
Just wish there were a few more turkeys around.
Yeah, we didn't see any turkeys, but tons of mule deer, scat. We found bear scat a couple times. That's a place I'd want to go and investigate, for 4 or 5 days and just really stomp around and figure it out.
I think if you had your time there,
you could kill one.
Yeah, I think you just needed to, explore some more zones and walk around a little bit. And
I mean, dude, we hunted for
roads and
3 hours.
2-3 hours. It wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, we hunted opening morning and then we had to get on the road. But still, man, we hunted up there with Brian Regala, and he was super generous and told us where we could go, and then came and camped and hunted with us. But man, so look, I want this officially on record, because I was really getting scared, man, because I had hyped up this California spot pretty hard to you before we got there. But I want your after you've been there for 2 days, we hunted all day yesterday, and we didn't have to hunt all day today. We hunted till about lunchtime. Yeah, what was your thoughts on that magical place?
Well, it's beautiful. Start out when we walked up that first day, and it was like all those clouds were hanging in the mountains around, and then it took a while. We started hearing some turkeys, and then we started seeing a ton of turkeys, and then it just seemed like it never ended. It seemed like I kept thinking, like, instead of moving around, it's almost like if you would just sit in the same spot all day, something's bound to just walk by.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And we weren't even moving that much, but it just seemed like they were just everywhere. Well, every next hill and valley, there was another gobble, which makes it awfully fun to chase them. Or get real close and sit down and call for a long time and have nothing happen.
Yeah, which is like we just kept being behind them. And then we ran into, so normally that's a place we bow hunt. All these turkeys were like henned up. So, like, decoying them and pulling them off their hens was proving very difficult, especially dealing with archery range. So today we went in there with shotguns, which is there's like a complicating factor. There's like this sister that lives on the far side of the property. And so we were trying to, she's like not really into hunting, but we have permission to be there from the rest of the family. And she can't really stop us, but she can just kind of be like, like a cactus thorn in the butt about it. So we're trying to get in there and kill turkeys without her knowing we're in there. And man, it worked out today, dude. Killed, just like kept being behind them. And then I shot one at like 15 yards there in the kind
that
of the
one
trees.
Came in from behind us.
Yeah, he looped around. And then we didn't even know he was there, and then he gobbled, and he was probably like 50 yards away.
Yeah, or less. He was so close.
Dude, and we sat down, and he just came in, stepped over a log, and got it. And then, you and Jimmy, I mean, what do you think? He went 100 yards?
Yeah, if that.
Up onto that other hill, man, and just like coming to a pack of gobblers like 5 times.
Yeah, I think there are 5 left after
Jimmy. And Jimmy killed like probably, I've never seen a head that big on a turkey.
I mean, just those spurs and that thing. I'd be curious what it weighed.
Yeah.
Jimmy was saying that I don't know if that's true or not, but like you can really tell their age by their weight. It'd be interesting to weigh both of yours, because he was clearly the boss.
Yeah.
The one Jimmy killed. But yours was no slouch either.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's what I was saying. Like, if that's like the less good turkey, the one that I got, I'm like, I'll take that all day long. Oh my god, oh my god, dude, he had this big, huge paintbrush of a beard and like really nice spurs. Jimmy just had like gnarly spurs. It looked a lot more like chicken spurs. Like a rooster will get. Have you ever had roosters or just?
I always had chickens.
Dude, roosters will like in a year will have spurs that look like that.
No way.
Yeah, we measured them. They're like 1.25 inch spurs and just like super sharp and pointy on the end. Hadn't been worn down. Really beautiful place. Looks kind of, to me, it looks like, like the Shire, like New Zealand or something almost, man. Just like these rolling beautiful hills. There's a peacock running around. There was a white hen we saw.
Yeah, that white hen was crazy.
Yeah.
I just dug on like the whole scene, the vineyards on part of it, and then just rolling hills. And yeah, I can't imagine in 2 weeks when all the flowers come out.
And in 2 weeks, man, those birds will be gnarly acting.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was cool though, dude, because like last year it really was. Last year it was like almost too easy, like.
I'm glad it took a little bit today.
I mean, we had to run around to get all the shots.
Yeah, it was beneficial for me to get shots. If it would have just been like 2 mornings, first setup, 2 dead turkeys, next setup, 2 dead turkeys, it would have been hard to get.
Yeah.
What we were.
But I mean, it's like we were hearing gobbles every day. We were staying on top of them. We just like, I mean, hell, we had 3 toms come in and skirt us by like 50 yards.
Oh, I had a clear, easy shot on all 3 of them.
Yeah.
From where I was sitting. They just didn't cooperate. I think Jimmy could have shot.
Yeah, I think so too, if he had the gun in the hand.
What, did he just not have? Because he had a gun?
Yeah, he had my 12 gauge, but we were expecting him to come down that road. And so when those 3 turkeys popped out the side, they were just pointing right at Jimmy. And he had his gun down, so he didn't want to like pick it up and then swing and mess something up. And we were trying to.
I just think in that scenario, there was those 3 that came in, then the one that flanked us that you killed. Mm-hmm. There was the one across the river losing its mind, and then there was 6 in the group that Jimmy killed, all in like 100 yards. So what's that? 11?
Yeah,
toms.
I'd be very confident that there's 15. Big old toms on that property, at least.
Yeah, that was, oh man, that was just crazy.
We didn't even talk about like why you've been rolling with me for the last week.
Because I like your smiling face. And
yes. Well, there's that.
Your general stench is appealing to me.
Yeah. There's a stench all right, dude. I'm sweating going up and down those hills, man. I get back to Jimmy's parents' house, and I'm like, damn, I'm musty, dog. That's why that place is so great, too. So we've been staying the last couple of days at Jimmy Flatt's parents' house, Jamie and Geraldine Flatt, who are like the nicest people ever. so welcoming and so kind. But yeah, man, like you get to go there. It's like a rad, beautiful house, gorgeous backyard. Like Jamie takes a lot of pride in his yard. And Geraldine just keeps
pouring the bubbly,
feeding me that champagne, man. Get me champagne drunk. And like we have like nice family meals, but you can like there's like a washing machine and a shower.
Dude.
It's, I mean, just like houses have.
He kept saying, like, this is the nicest turkey camp ever. And I'm like, well, it's a house. That's going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, man. But it's like a nice house. And their neighbors are this was the same case last year. Their next door neighbors are like never home. So I just take over their next door neighbor's driveway and set it up like a camp spot. And like yesterday, like I told you, you guys went to sleep.
Like hanging on their car windows.
Yeah. I spilled champagne on my camo, and then I just sat there in the middle of the truck last night and drank a Stella, and just like I'm at the end of a cul-de-sac sitting in my boxers in this van, dude, getting great sleep, waking up, having espresso. They got an espresso maker, had an espresso, and then go hunt turkeys.
Living the life.
I'm telling you, dude. Talk about living the life, Jay. So when I picked you up on Wednesday, you were like, what, 24 hours back from France and Switzerland?
Yeah, I had less than 20. I was 16 hours at home. It was funny when I landed from Switzerland. I turned my phone on and I got like the message to check in for my flight the next morning, and it's just like, oh my goodness. And so I've been dealing with jet lag this whole week, but it's been good because I've been up early, and we have to get up early anyway. So
and we've been going to bed pretty early too, man.
Well, that's normal in my
I love it, dude. I don't know if I said it to you or if I said it to Marianne or whatever, but man,
I think in the last week we've said everything to each other.
We have, but yeah, man, it's been great being on the road with like another grown-ass man that's like not trying to stay up until 1 o'clock every morning. It's like 8:30. See you in the morning, dog. It's great. Yep. You want some coffee in the morning? We finally got that figured out toward the end.
Dude, espresso maker was nice.
Real nice, man. Yeah, and I would come in the house in the mornings, man, and you'd be in there in camo and comfortable and
doing my Wordle,
doing your Wordle, drinking espresso, getting ready to do it. But yeah, man. So you were in Switzerland and France, and that was like kind of family. That was you and Rachel.
My wife's 50th birthday celebration extravaganza. So it was nice to do it, and I'm in like a big chunk of travel for work right now, and it was kind of nice to start out with my wife and some bros and go ski for a week and a half before on the road, traveling and shooting.
Yeah.
So we have this, and then fly home tomorrow, and the next day fly to Hawaii for another shoot, and then home for a little bit, and then Cuba for another shoot. Yeah, and
you were in Japan for like most of January, weren't you?
Yep. Yeah. It's my favorite. It's my favorite place.
Yeah, you're working on your Duolingo, your Japanese Duolingo every day.
I'm trying. I didn't get it. I forgot today. I haven't done it yet. I did it last night when I went just laying in bed trying to fall asleep, and I'm like, I didn't do my Duolingo yet. So I did it.
Yeah, so Jay's so enamored with Japan. He's been going there for so many years every winter that now he's committing himself to learning the language.
Well, I'm committing myself to 10 to 15 minutes a day to learn the language. And we'll see how far that gets in a year. When I go back next year, I'll be very curious to see like how much, if it makes a difference, and then how much of a difference it does make. And then I assume if I've made it a year, then I might just keep going with it. So
sure. I mean, you even said something interesting to me, which is that, would you describe your left arm as a sleeve? That's a sleeve, right?
Oh, my tattoo?
The tattoo, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's
So
like mostly a sleeve. That was my one thing. I just didn't want like a...
You didn't go all the way to your wrist?
No, I just didn't want a hard end. I just don't like when tattoos just like... It's like all this beautiful work, and it's just like... It just ends like it's a band at your wrist.
Sure.
And so I didn't want it to end
But
like in like a but
an abrupt way.
An abrupt way. I would consider it a sleeve. Yeah.
But you're talking about how you're not going to get any more tattoos because you're so into being in Japan and like going to those bathhouses and stuff.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, explain that so it doesn't because that sounds like you're just a whoremonger.
Well, they're I don't know. It's the best. It's like
but like explain this seriously because I didn't.
So they're called
you said they don't have.
onsens.
You said this is like kind of the culture.
A lot of the older houses in Japan don't even have. They have toilets and sinks. But a lot of them don't have showers, and so like the old school way, they'd have a communal bathhouse. And the beautiful thing about Japan is you can drill down 3 feet and you have volcanic water at any temp you want. And so none of this is heated. It's just all these mineral springs that can be anywhere you want them to be. So they'd have these communal bathhouses, and they're kind of like these sacred meditation pools. And you kind of go in there and you shower off, and then you can go sit in like all these different temperature hot springs. And then there's cold pools, and there's saunas, and there's electric pools where you get in, it like shocks you with electricity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gnarly. Rachel, when I took her there, she loved them. I couldn't. It would like resonate in my hips. It felt super weird. I couldn't do it. So they have all these different pools, and so like it's like, they're separated, men's and women's. Most of them. There's a few communal, but for the most part, they're separated. And like the dudes would like go there and they'd shower off and go soak in the hot springs, and then go sit in the lobby and drink beer. Like it's a very community oriented thing. And so,
but like everybody's in there like butt naked, right?
Yeah, there's no clothes. There's something to do with they consider like the waters to be like sacred, so they don't want any cloth in the water. I mean, it could be just for cleanliness and soap or detergents or whatever. So like the whole point is you go in, you completely most of them have like shampoo, conditioner, body wash there. Some people bring in all their own stuff, soap and razors and whatever. And every little station, there's like all these little stations. You kind of sit on this little bucket, and there's a faucet, and there's like a hand sprayer, and you can bring in your own shampoo, but they have that there, and so you fully clean yourself, and then go sit in these hot springs and just relax and enjoy. And there's all different. I mean, some of them are super extravagant, and some of them are like one little pool, and that's it. So, I don't know what we got on since for.
Well, we're talking about like you being so into Japan and the fact that you don't want to get.
So
tattoos.
so the whole tattoo thing is because of the Japanese mafia culture of Yakuza, from its neck to wrist to ankle, tattooed. Because I have a sleeve, it can be offensive, even though I'm very much a white dude there.
And you're not a mobster?
And I couldn't be Yakuza because I'm white, right?
You got to be Japanese to be Yakuza?
Yeah, it's Japanese mafia.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying you can't ever get in.
That's what I've been told. I could be wrong.
Well, maybe if you learn the language.
Maybe I can ask some people how to get in. But and so like it's offensive to a lot of the older Japanese there, the older culture, to have tattoos. And if you have like a little one, it's not a big deal. But when you start I have like a full sleeve on my left arm, it can be offensive. So I've kind of like, for that reason, I'm kind of like done getting tattoos, at least until I'm done going to Japan. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. So, because it's such an amazing culture of honor and respect, that I want to. I want to disrespect or not have, their honor as little as possible. So I just want to keep from offending people as much as possible. I'm still going to go, and I'm still going to have my sleeve. I'm not going to get it removed.
Sure.
I don't want to come in there.
I think it's nice that you're so worried about offending Japanese people in here in America. It doesn't seem to bother you so much.
Hey man, I'm nicer to foreigners than I am most people I run into at the gas station.
That's funny, dude. Yeah, I am not gonna stop getting tattoos, but I love the fact that the culture and the place is so resonant, important to you that you're like willing to make adjustments in your life.
I don't think part of it too is after I got my sleeve, I honestly haven't come up with something that I really wanted tattooed either. So I think that's part of it too.
Sure.
I have had a few ideas come through. I think when Stella, my dog, dies, like I never understood like portraits people get until like this dog, and I'm like, at some point I'll get a picture of Stella tattooed on me.
Really?
Yeah, like a portrait.
Yeah. I got my mama's portrait on me.
The Bevinator?
The Bevinator, dude. Yeah, you still haven't met the Bev, have you?
No.
Yeah, one day, dude.
One day.
She's a good lady, man. Great lady. Man, so this podcast, although very hunting-centric, and seems like, most of the that's not true. All of the traveling I do is because of hunting or somehow related to that. Otherwise I'm just in Arkansas wiping butts. All these kids that I've made. But, the podcast is supposed to be about all these people who create their own lives and like make their own ways in the world, right? And we've been talking a bunch about that on this trip, and like kind of how you've set your life up, right? So you got Eli, your boy, who's 20 now, right? So he's out of the house, doing very, very well for himself. So you and Rachel are there at home, and you've absolutely set up this life for yourself. Like you've worked and created this life and this lifestyle that has you outside all the time, while you are gone a lot. I would argue that you probably have way more meaningful family time than like most Americans.
Oh man, I used to take the summers. I would book very little work when Eli was off school, and just so I could hang out with him, and we'd take road trips and go backpacking and go fishing, and that was my justification always. Was I felt like when I was home.
Yeah, and
I do feel that way. I might be gone a lot, but when I am home, for the most part, it's much higher quality time, at least with my family. And now that he's not gone, he's only 15 minutes away, but he's doing his own thing in college. And yeah, Rach holds down the fort when I'm gone, takes the dog out, and I don't know what she does with her time. Reads a lot of books, I think.
Locks the dog out of the bedroom.
Yeah, locks no Stella in the bedroom.
Dude, what's funny is you said that when you find out that when you're gone that Rachel doesn't let Stella, the dog, sleep in the room. But I found out that when I was gone, Marianne was letting my dog Ammo up in the bed. You know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, we don't do that.
But how's he right now?
He's
14?
13.
13? Yeah. At some point in time, it's like, dude, if a 13-year-old dog can still jump up in the bed, they might have earned it at that stage of the game.
I love that dog, man. He's awesome. He also stinks. All right? He's a stinky old dog. He is farting like crazy these days. He never used to be like that, but he's just like, and it's so crazy because, it'll be like all three of my kids, me, Marianne, the dog, all in the room or something. And like these are all, everyone I just named is a terribly prolific passer of gas, right? And my kids like to announce it, like they do it and then I pooted, daddy. Or, Hazel pooted, right? Or this boy of mine, man, he gets some rank ones.
Babies, dude.
Or then the dog. You just never know where you're.
It's a good excuse, though.
You need a gas mask in that house, man. It's just a lot of going to the bathroom, it seems like, with all these kids and dogs. And anyway. But, I guess, so we kind of, the first podcast when I was at your house and we were elk hunting, man, we kind of like went through your story and talked about that. What I feel like we've talked a lot about on this trip is how, you put, and you're still working very hard, but you like really had like your nose to the grindstone for so long. And now you're at a point where it's kind of paying some dividends, right?
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
You've got more say over the work you're doing and like where you're putting your time and you're, investing your energy and stuff into. And I think I can say this without blowing you up or anything, but you're like, man, I'm at the point where I want to work less and make more money.
Yeah, no, that's my goal.
That's a good goal. Yeah.
I mean,
I
really appreciate my time. Like you said, I spent so much of my time like finding work and chasing down work, and now that chunk of my business I don't have to really do anymore, which is really nice. And then that being said, my work now is more focused, so it's a lot easier for me to allow myself to have time to myself, and I've really started to enjoy having time to myself.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, like I think the older you get, yeah, it's what I want. I don't need to make more. I just really want to make the most of my time off, and I mean, I'd like to make more too, but as long as I can, where everything's stable on the financial front, I'd rather have time off than more money. And yeah, I suppose work less and make more and play more. Well, that should be everyone's goal, I think.
Man, you know what? It really should be. I think that a lot of times people, they get stuck in the make more part.
Yeah, I think I have plenty of friends that are in that realm that, and well, that must be that if you had a job where that was doable and that was enjoyable and you had expensive toys and things that you wanted, I can see it. If you're happy, if you're truly happy, that's fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. I would have a very difficult time in a normal job. I've had them. Wasn't a big fan.
Yeah.
I like working for myself. I like being my own boss. I don't, I'll be places when I need to be there, but it's nice to watch when Rach goes to work in the morning and be like, have fun. I'm going to sit here and wordle for a while and drink some coffee and go hunt some birds and go for ski. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it like that, it sounds like all you're doing is playing. I would say this, man. It's now that I've gotten to the point where I've worked with several different photographers and
you're big stuff these days,
filmmakers and whatnot. Yeah, man, dude, you're like when you're shooting, man, you're like incredibly. How would you say it? I mean, I guess just like professional, right? Like you let us know what you need, which is like so helpful because I'm not wandering around like an a-hole. You just like do this, do that. I want to get the light in this one spot, right? It's not like we're not faking anything. You're just saying like if I'm like today we're carrying a turkey out, right? And you're like walk on this line because that you're gonna walk by those trees and that trunk is really red and that'll look cool when you pass by there. And just like knowing what you want, knowing what you need, giving some direction is like super helpful on my end. But it's like it's evident that you've developed this skill in this craft, right? Like you're not fighting yourself to try and get what you want, right? You're just making it happen. I thought that picture you took in the desert in Arizona with that like long exposure was so cool,
Oh, the stars?
Yeah. Well, yeah, making the coffee and shit.
Yeah.
And just like that, it's like it was probably 4:30 in the morning because we had to drive all day. And just at 4:30 in the morning, you were like, oh, this would be cool. Like this would make a money shot. And you get your stuff out and you set it up. And
it was years ago. I think about it all the time. And I don't know why it took me so long to figure this out, but I just think of the amount of times when you're hanging out with your friends or whatever you're doing, and someone's like, oh, this is super cool. And you're like, oh, yeah, that is super cool. And we're just sitting there like looking at the stars in the morning, making coffee. Like, man, the stars look so awesome right now. And you're like, well, why wouldn't I? If this is that cool, why wouldn't I take a picture of it?
Yeah.
It's like they're basic stuff, But I think there was a long time in my career I just didn't like, or you'd be caught up in that moment. And so you would enjoy that moment. And then later it'd be like, well, that would have been a nice part to have in this story. Yeah. It's just no different than like eating, like the food at that hacienda we were at yesterday. Like that little restaurant shot worked out really well.
That was dope, man.
And it was just, we were just eating burritos, It wasn't anything special, but it was a cool shot.
But it is too, right? Like it's...
that to me is like classic turkey, or this anything. But I just feel like in the not, I don't know, maybe it's me and whatever, but I don't feel like you're ever like hunting turkeys all day. I'm sure there's people that hunt them sun up to sundown and whatever, but it's like,
Well, a lot of places you can't.
Yeah, that's true too. But you get up at 4, and we didn't get to the restaurant until 1 in the afternoon yesterday.
Yeah.
And like, that's a solid day of running around. And
we basically had like a work day.
But I feel like turkeys tend to be in like closer to residential zones, like it's more like an ag, or it's not like you're putting in like elk or mule deer. You're not like backpacking in, and people do, but it just seems like
that's where a lot of turkeys are, right? Like there's higher concentrations in those places, right? They do really well on that kind of wild suburban interface.
The boundary though.
But yeah, man, like you don't necessarily, especially like out west, man, in these like, Oregon and California, or I'll be in Oregon next week, and California and stuff, like you don't necessarily have to be in some super remote area to find a bunch of turkeys. Like that goofball that walked up to us at this place, he's like, "Oh, what y'all killing?"
Is that what he said? I didn't catch it because I was walking up the table when he said this.
Yeah, he said, "What y'all been killing?" And we hadn't killed anything that day,
Nothing
so we were
yet.
trying to get some turkeys.
Sir.
Oh, you got to come over to my house. We got like 120 of them out there on the road.
That's when I came into the conversation. I was like, "And where do you live?"
Yeah, and he told us,
"How much land do you have?" "Oh, you can't hunt them on my land."
Yeah, he was just letting us know that.
Do you know anyone over there?
He knew where there was a bunch of turkeys, and he saw them all the time, but he wasn't. He was just like bragging, kind of. It was weird.
Teasing us is what he was doing.
Yeah. And then he was like, "All right, you'll see you later."
He just wanted to be.
Wanted.
We looked so cool. Sitting there eating burritos, drinking beers. He just wanted to be a part of the crew. That's good. I get it. It's understandable.
You want what you can't be, right? Man, you know what? Actually, I think would be cool to talk about, man, is because I think it's so different. Is maybe like some of your parenting philosophy. Because for real, Jay. So Eli is like a really smart, really accomplished kid, right? Like gets good grades, got a great scholarship to college, but he's also like really capable and really. We've talked about this a bunch. Like really confident and comfortable in himself. Which I think has probably come from the fact that he is like the two meanest parents ever.
Horribly mean.
And no, it's not that you're mean, but you and Rachel both are. You're about like handling your business, before you have your fun, right?
Yeah, very much. It's a good philosophy in life.
And you seem pretty comfortable. A lot of people are really concerned with like overprotecting their children, over sheltering them, and like just being helicopter parents.
Oh, dude, I think that's one of the worst things that has happened in the parenting realm. I think kids need to figure not everything, but a lot of stuff out for themselves, and you learn a lot quicker if you fall down and pick yourself up a few times along the way.
And like that, man, like literally falling down. So like what you guys do as a family, right? Like some people go to the lake or watch baseball, or you guys do watch some football, but like mostly what you guys are doing is like mountain biking together or going and skiing, and we're talking about like from Eli being a little kid. You guys didn't stop doing that stuff.
Never.
When you had a kid, and you were showing me like those pictures of those jumps. This little 8-year-old is doing gnarly jumps, like flipping upside down and all sorts of crazy shit. But yeah, man, like how have you approached being somebody's dad?
I don't know. I think like any parent, you just you do what you think is best, And it took a while to. I know my parents screwed up, but I know they did their best, and I think we tried to do the same thing. We just definitely wanted to expose him to all the things that meant a lot in our lives: hunting and fishing and mountain biking and skiing, and I'll be very curious to see what he continues with in his life, But I don't know who I got it from, But there was a point in time someone said in my life, your job as a parent is not to be their friend. It's to be their parent. And to it's your job to show them right and wrong and teach them, and no one else is going to do that, and I think too many parents want to be their kids' friend, which I think because of that, I mean, he has become my friend. Now he's at the point where he's in college, whatever, like we talk, or we don't talk, we text almost every day, and it's a great relationship, and it's built on trust and respect now, but it's because we were, well, Rachel was not as hard. Rachel got to be the gracious parent.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be the hard ass. But I think you need that too, and you need that super love, respect side, and you need the side that's like shit hits the fan. This is not how we operate to be good people, and this is what you need to do to change that. And so yeah, we're definitely harder on him, harder than a lot of people I know on their kids. But I think now he's very capable and he's very confident, and I think you can still be loving and caring and hard on your kids at the same time, and bring them up to be good people, and not I think a lot of people are scared that they're going to crush the confidence level of their kids if they're correct them or they're hard on them. But a lot of the harding too is not actually being hard on them. It's letting them learn stuff by themselves. It's hard to step back and watch your kids fail. It's hard to step back and watch them fall down. Like riding a bike or skiing, or the first time I saw Eli pinwheel down a ski line, head over feet multiple times. He was 7 years old. I'm just I thought he was dead. And he just got back up. He was lost his helmet and his goggles and his skis. But he got back up and he was dinged for a little bit, and then he kept going, And I think he learned a good lesson that day. Don't point it through moguls. But I think that's everything, one of his first pheasant outings, he shot my dog.
Really?
Yeah, he shot Stella right in the face.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was just destroyed by that. But I tell you what, he is the safest person with a gun now. And it was a horrible experience. And probably the only thing you could ever, if you ever want to get under his skin, and there's very few people who really want to, but that is about the only thing you can rip on him for, and it hurts. It hurts him.
Eli, man, I heard you Dick Cheney'd Stella.
Yeah,
man.
totally. Tell that next time you come to the house, dude,
I'll say it to him.
Roll right into that. But there's, I obviously wasn't excited about that moment, but what do you do? It happened, and Stella, amazingly enough, that whatever she took, I don't know, I think I probably got 15 pellets out of her in the field, and then cut 3 or 4 out later, and then cut another one out 4 months later. But she yelped and came running back to me, and I was it was super dusty in South Dakota that year, so you could see where the blood was coming out on her fur, but it was the wet spots. So
yeah.
I would pop these wet spots like pimples, and a BB would shoot out, And so I just went around her and popped all these wet spots over her chest and her head and her eye. Dude, she had one right in her eyebrow.
I was about to say, she's lucky she didn't get one.
Oh
in her
my
eye
goodness, dude! She's got 3 in her ear. She's still got the last one. She still has is stuck in her cheek, right in her lip, right above her jaw. But yeah, she didn't even let me finish popping all her little BB zits, and she was ready to fire back up. She had 0 issues from that, which blew my mind. And to this day, still had what I would think is really funny is I was throwing the dummy for her, one time, and I went back and she got really close to it, and I wailed her in the face. She hates fetching dummies. One time, I hit her in the face with the dummy. Nope. Birds, shot in the face, doesn't care.
Yeah, she got that prey drive.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But back to Eli, you can't have an experience like that and not be overly cautious with your firearm from that point on.
Sure.
And luckily nothing majorly bad happened. But You got to learn some things the hard way, and that was a real hard lesson for him, but probably one of the hardest he's learned. It was like not doing well in your first calculus exam in college.
Step your game up.
Well, you do like, but that's the thing. Like what I liked about that last year is that he didn't do as well as he wanted to do, and so he knew he had to buckle down and crush it the rest of the year, and he did.
Yeah.
He still ended up with an A, and it was just one of those. I think it was probably one of the lowest grades he'd ever gotten in school, but I think from his whole life of learning, he knew like, well, this isn't the outcome I want. I know what I have to do to get there. I'm going to do it, And that's
wow, yeah. That's what you just said is it's like, man, where would we be if everybody had that understanding?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are afraid of work.
Sure.
That's the bummer. Well, that was the one thing I wanted because I knew he had a ton of energy, and I wanted him to be polite because if he was polite, people would cut him a lot more slack.
Mm-hmm.
So he worked a lot on. I mean, you'd never know now, but when he was younger, he had real good manners.
Oh, I think he's polite.
No, he's a good
kid.
But
he was leaving before I left. He was like going to school or something, man, and he like came up and like gave me a hug before he left. Mm-hmm. Like that's a dude with some class, know.
But I just want him to be polite, and I want him to have a work ethic because I think, like my job when I had normal jobs, carpenter, cooking, whatever. So few people had a work ethic, and this is like people my age. And then I look at kids his age, and so few of them know how to work hard to get what you want, And it just seemed like if I could teach him manners and teach him a work ethic, he could crush the rest of life, And that I truly feel like we accomplished that, and he seems to be doing great right now.
Yeah, man. No, he was real impressive. Man, I've got a couple of friends who have that like started their families like earlier than me, So like their kids are like reaching these maturation points. It's like real far off from where my kids are,
Yeah.
And but it's really interesting because I think it's like obviously the kids are an indication of who their parents are, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, not all the time, but I mean, like, you kind of there's a lot to do. There's nature involved for sure, but like there's a lot of nurture.
Yep.
All right. And like you and Eli, Newcomb and Beyer, Shep too. I mean, honestly, all of Newcomb's kids, River and Willow, are real red people. My buddy Brandenburg and his boy Zach, man, who I've got to like spend some time with and hunt and stuff with. And like all of those people I just named, like I've been around their kids and I've been impressed by their kids. By their kids' behavior outside of like their dads who are my buddies, like telling them to do stuff, like with Zach Brandenburg, I think we took him hunting when he was, I don't know, maybe he was like 14 or something, right? Mm-hmm. Took him this little timber hole, and we're done hunting, and for sure. We're done hunting, and me and Brandenburg are sitting there talking, and Zach just goes and starts picking up all the decoys. Like no one told him to, but like he got that it was a way for him to show some appreciation, I think, but also like he just kind of knew what was a classy way to behave. I guess that's what I'd call it, like being classy. And it's also, it's like a really great representation of his dad, right? Like I remember telling his dad, being like, "Hey man, I'm noticing that your boys went out there and picked up those decoys and no one told them to, man. Like that's a solid kid, right?" And like I really liked the kid, man. I was at his house. He was helping me with these black bear tamales. We had to let him steam for a while. His dad had gone to this function we were doing, this black bear bonanza, and he plays lacrosse, right? And I played lacrosse in high school. And I said, "Hey man, you got 2 lacrosse sticks?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Dude, we got to wait 45 minutes for these things to steam." I was like, "You want to go play catch?" And he was like, "Yeah," right? And like went outside and we're playing catch, and I was like kind of shocked that I still remembered how to do everything, you know. And
what are they called? They call them sticks or something, right?
yeah, sticks.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, okay, so let's be real. It's called a stick, and it's in 2 parts. It's a head and a shaft.
Okay.
That's what they call it.
Oh, really? Never heard of that before.
Yeah. But also, like, it really exposed that I was not 17 anymore, because I tried to basically, like, lacrosse. It's very similar to basketball, actually, in the mechanics of it, and it's lots of setting picks, and rolling into people and rolling around and all that stuff. And he caught me every time I tried to roll around him, man. Like, he's a pretty good little lacrosse player, man. But I told Brandenburg after, I was like, man, I wish I had a 17-year-old boy to hang out with. Like, I got to wait 17 more years for my boy to
Dude,
be that
I'll
old.
tell you what, I see all my friends now, so I'm 45, and who have like 5 to 10-year-olds, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know how they have energy for it. I don't know how you're gonna have energy for it. Or maybe it's just because I had kids earlier in life.
Yeah.
And so now, because I know that chunk of my life is older, I think I don't have energy for it. It'd be different, I think, if you waited and did all the stuff you did, like when I was raising a kid and pounding nails, But I just, it's crazy,
I mean, I can tell you this. I don't want to have another one in 5 years. Like, I'm
well, you
stoked
solved
about
that
it.
problem now.
Yeah, I got that vasectomy. But man, it's so wild too to me, because like, we all have these aspirations, like, for the life we want to live, right? So I mean, like, legit, dude, you've traveled all over the world, right? You're in the Amazon. You're all over, like, South America for so long, right? You're in Japan every year for like a month, and like, you go in Hawaii, and you've been up on mountains all over the place, right? And you have this enormous body of work, right? Which is very illustrative of, like, who you are and how you see the world, like, literally your lens on stuff, right? But and like, when we met or whatever in 2019, and like kind of hit it off right away. And I like knew your work, and I knew your reputation in the quote unquote industry and whatnot. But like, getting to stay at your house and like hang out with your family and hang out with your friends and just like your community, and we talked about that, man. Like, that was so illustrative of like who you are and your value system. And just like seeing the way you interacted with your kids, seeing the way you interacted with your wife. Like, when I killed that elk, and the fact that like you could send a text message out, and like an hour later 2 dudes were up on top of a mountain that had skied in to like help carry this stranger. Eddie and Eric came up there like to help pack out that elk, right?
I've done a lot of favors in my life.
Yeah.
It's nice when they come back around
Dude,
in a while.
That was awesome, man. And I told you, dude, like, I left there being like, man, this guy's got such a awesome community of people around him. And then, like, as we've been traveling, and this is like my biggest trip that I've ever taken, right? I mean, it's like, real talk, man, it's just like serious bro down time, right? We're in a van all day, we're hunting, we're fucking eating and drinking beers and all that stuff. And I mean, dude, you've been doing this, similar type things with people for 20 years, right? Like, you've got really, really good friends that like really, really care about you and look forward to seeing you like all over the country, right? Like, you're going to go to Hawaii and just have like the best time and hang out with Justin and Lindsay, and Justin's friends have become your friends. It's like I told you when we were talking there in Arizona, man. It's not just indicative of who you are, right? But like, I've told you that I thought you'd be really good at running a business, and it's because, and you asked me why, because another friend of yours had said that to you, and I said, man, you just like, Beyer's a dude I don't want to let down. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to disappoint you. If we're doing something together, I want you to feel like, I worked hard and like, was deserving of your efforts and your energy and stuff. And yeah, I think you were at a good balance of, like we've talked about this, like you're really a pretty sensitive dude, right?
I don't like to admit it.
Yeah, but dude, yeah, you're. It's not that you're mean. You called yourself mean. It's you have an incredibly high level of accountability for yourself, and that transfers to the people around you. And I remember we were driving around. I was getting car sick, in your Tacoma in Utah, and I was fucking whining about some shit. And you said, "Man, well, I'll tell you what I tell Eli. You're the only one who can do anything about it." And I've thought about that so much since then, dude. And I was like, yeah, man, truer words,
You got to deal with your own situation.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes,
no one's going to care about you more than you. That doesn't mean you have to be narcissistic or mean, but.
Or it doesn't mean that
you got to deal with yourself.
You can't lean on other people and ask for help.
No, that's why we switched driving.
Yeah.
And then you drove.
Yeah. Because
you drove my truck home.
Because my tummy gets sick when I ride in people's cars. Or it's, but a deal like that, like what's the worst thing? I just don't really like riding in cars with people.
Yeah.
So I just drive.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
It was nice on this. Like I'm normally always the one driving, and this trip was kind of nice to like look around and fart around on my phone. And because I've spent very little time in Texas. It was only my third time in Texas, and it's such an enormous state. And to drive through like a bunch of it I'd never seen before. Like I'd never been down. Like we were 20 feet from Mexico, driving along the border.
Went through the border with their customs check.
And it was cool to like see a bunch of the chunks that I had never seen before, which is pretty sweet. Where normally you see stuff when you're driving, but not as much. I bet I spotted more antelope than you did.
You definitely did. Lopers. That's what they call them. Lopers.
Loper spotting. Judging them. Dude, Eli does it all the time now too. He's like, "Oh, Dad, that was a good buck." I'm like, "Yeah, why do you think so?" "Oh yeah, that was a good one."
That's what I do with I do that with ducks, and it drives Marianne crazy. And it's just because like it's a constant. I mean, what you've experienced, it's a constant wiggle waggle of the steering wheel. Looking at something. Oh, get it straight. Now there's an additional wiggle waggle on this van because it's essentially a giant sail.
It's lightly top heavy. And dude, I swear you look at it from behind and it's got a narrower wheelbase than it should,
You think so?
Dude, look at it next time you're out there. And I don't know if it's just because it's how tall it is. It seems like your wheels are closer together than they. But from behind I was looking at it like your wheels look a little too close together, and you got a lot of weight up top.
Yeah, man. But dude, it's working.
No, dude, we've definitely swerved hard enough where if it wanted to go,
yeah, for sure, dude. That wind in that wind in New Mexico was gnarly. Like I had that steering wheel was like cocked at like a 45-degree angle the whole time just to keep it straight because it was just blustery, dude. Oh man, we're almost getting to the hour point. And what do we got planned after this? We're gonna go eat sushi.
Would be nice. You're gonna have your first time drinking sake.
Yeah, we're gonna drink some sake. Yeah,
which should be amazing. Hopefully for you.
If I drink too much sake,
You might be right back here.
I was about to say I'll be sleeping in my van in the parking lot, which is like one of my favorite things.
I mean, we got that.
That fold out. I'd rather sleep in my van.
That's this thing too.
Yeah, I'll sleep.
You sleep with me an old king size up there.
I'll sleep in my van, dog. It'll be all right. I love it, dude. I never get better sleep than I do in that van.
Oh, so back on my Tacoma, I have nothing. It's just a bare. I blow up a mattress and sleep back there with my dog. I think it's because if I'm sleeping in the back of my truck, I'm somewhere doing something awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm sure I've had a few beers, probably sat around the campfire after doing something super fun. And I think that's, it's like what we're doing right now. We're having a great time.
Yeah.
Running around mountains, chasing turkeys and
eating Triscuits.
Eating Triscuits. There were quite a few Triscuits harmed in the last week of this trip.
Yeah, I told you when I went out to the van to sleep after I was all champagne boozed up, I just like laid there and ate Triscuits and fell asleep.
Dude, they're the best.
They're so tasty.
3 ingredients, dude.
And it lets us make Billy Madison references.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have had some delicious Triscuits. If you told me there were delicious Triscuits in the car, maybe I could have enjoyed them with you. Man, so what is can we talk a little bit about, I'm not trying to get in all your business, but can we talk a little bit about truck?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So Truck Gloves, go truck yourself.
Go truck yourself.
Is
truckgloves.com.
So Truck Gloves is a business that you're one of the owners of. Mm-hmm. Obviously a glove company, but like kind of focused in the ski mountain bike world.
Ski and mountain bike, and then we have like a work wear kind of line, like a
good work gloves.
We call them lifestyle, which is like for bird hunting, for upland stuff. It's all I use.
They're getting van parts out of the junkyard. They work good too.
My wife, yeah, there you go. My wife wears all our glitz. Like when we're late season cow hunting or late season mule deer hunting, she always wears big mitts because Sika doesn't make mitts small enough for little hands.
Oh.
So that's nice to see. I think she likes them. She wears them just because it's my company too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we make ski. But all our ski gloves are, they're extremely durable, well priced. Goat leather.
Did you say you're going to switch to cow leather on some of them?
Just one. One of the work gloves is the Trooper. So our gloves have they're high in dexterity, which is why I can like them with a shotgun, Mm-hmm. But some of the work gloves, people have wanted something a little burlier. And goat leather is more supple, but it's thinner. And cow leather you can get it in multiple thicknesses, but it tends to last longer. So we're like harder, burlier projects where you don't need as much dexterity. We're making the Trooper. The new Trooper, when it comes out, will be in cow leather. And it will last longer, but it won't have that same dexterity as the work glove or the other leather gloves. So,
I mean, they'll break in though, right? Like,
everything. I mean, excuse me, all those gloves break in. I mean, our story is leather. We don't use anything else. We have a few shoulder products like a windproof, breathable membrane, but everything we've tried to keep everything leather. So we're really unique in the mountain bike world. Everyone's moved to like fake leather, and like going back to like real leather mountain bike gloves, which I hunted in those for years too. Because they're super soft and super.
Is a mountain bike glove? Does it have like the fingers cut off or?
The old school ones did. Most of and there's still some people that use, but most people use full finger gloves if they're going to use gloves. But sweet to have you have so much protection and they're so light, but
what are you protecting your hands from when you're mountain biking?
When you fall off your bike.
Oh, okay.
That's why we wear knee pads. I think because like helmet for sure, because you only got one head, and if you fall off your bike, the first thing to hit the ground is your hand.
Sure.
And so most of those gloves, which every glove I had before ours, you fall once and they're crushed. They rip open and you can't have them, but ours last quite a bit longer because they're actual leather. And I think they have better dexterity than that fake leather stuff. I should know what it's called. But yeah.
And so right now, truck gloves they're like direct to consumer, right?
Yep. For right now, I think that's what we're debating if we should switch. We'd keep our prices the same, but we're kind of trying to think of like a hybrid type model. We can buy them on our line, or we could get a few retailers too. But yeah, anyone out there who's listening who needs a pair of ski gloves or mountain bike gloves or work gloves, or you're going to go hunt some pheasants next weekend, pick up some gloves.
Truck gloves, go truck yourself. Well, this seems like a good place to wrap the podcast. And we still got to go eat some sushi and, get a sake buzz or whatever. But, dude, Jay, I legit, man, without going too deep into this mushy bushy, man, like I could not imagine a better person to spend the last week with, man. It's been such a good time. It's been, God, dude, just real talk, dog. Like, just such an honor and pleasure to be your friend, man. You're just a rad dude.
Oh, dude.
It's been such a blast. And
You're touching it. You're getting into my sensitive
oh,
side.
yeah. Cry. I'd be like Oprah, man. I'm trying to get him to cry.
It doesn't take a whole lot.
But no, dog. I mean, I said this on an Instagram post like after that elk hunt, man, and I really meant it, dude. I said, you find yourself a friend like Jay Beyer, and then you spend the rest of your life, trying to deserve a friend like that, man. And dude, I so appreciate you, man. I so appreciate your outlook on life and the world and your work ethic. And yeah, dude, just wish you the best and lots of gnarly adventures. And I hope you get to drive around in a van with you again.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
That's right, man. We're working on something. We'll see what happens.
we got something in the works.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man, like my whole life has been based around me driving around in a van. First, it was me and Schmitty. My buddy Mike Schmitz, who designed the first tattoo I ever got. We used to drive around. He had a Chevy Astro that smelled like disgusting spoiled milk because his brother would always spill milk in the seat, man. And so like you'd ride in Schmitty's van and your pants would stink afterwards. And so I went from Schmitty's van to having band vans. And like them meaning so much to me that I tattooed one of them on my arms. And
you gotta get this one out there.
Now I'm gonna get this van tattooed on me, man, because it's just like being a little hermit crab and traveling through these great United States and seeing cool stuff and eating good meals and chasing, just the wonders. Like you're chasing the wonders, right? Like it's not just that you're chasing animals, man. You're chasing the places they put you in. You're chasing like the time, the experiences that you have, right? Like I told you when we were driving up to Jimmy's house, I was like, dude, I've been waiting a year to pull up in front of Jimmy's parents' house and give him a hug. Yeah. Because it's just such a blast to hang out and just be weirdos that, we're just like all our own special kind of weirdo and, go chase these turkeys and it's so fun. But anyway, man, so truckgloves.com is where you can procure the best gloves on the market. And what about following you and checking out your work and what you're up to?
Yeah, Instagram is about the only place. I got a website at jbeyer.com. And then my Instagram is just jbeyer.
J Beyer Imaging.
Hey, Jay. Thank you for correcting my own. J Beyer Imaging is my Instagram, all lowercase. And
then you'll see his stuff on Mystery Ranch and Sitka, Yeti, Patagonia.
That's my crew right there. They're pretty good to me.
You did an article a while ago for Strung, didn't you?
I do, yeah. I do occasional when I have any editorial interest. I just tell them flat out, if this is easy, I can keep you full of content for the rest of your life of your publication. But if you're going to be a needy editorial, because most editorial clients don't pay much, and I don't do them for money. It's more for it's good for like the ambassadors or whoever I'm shooting.
Sure. You just got the cover of a magazine while we were driving around there.
Yeah, I got to send a photo tomorrow. If it's easy and Strung's made it real easy, and I dig on what they're doing. And then Western Hunt Journal is another one that they hit me up a couple times a year, and I send them a few photos, and they make a photo essay, and it's done. I love it. Like easy stuff like that, because a lot of my efforts these days just go into those 4 clients, and so I just I don't want to burn a bunch of time I could be spending with my wife and kid or hunting or skiing for myself, and so
yeah, you told me even you're like, man, like if I'm at home, I'm not going to talk to you on the phone, dude.
I did. I struck but it was very clear. It had nothing to Justin just called me. And I was just like, I forgot to call him back. I'm horrible with phones, but and a lot of it is like I'm home with my wife and kid, and so I'm not going to spend time with something else. But if anyone stops over for a beer, I love that. I love personal conversation. I just struggle with the phone. That's why I loved when texting came out, because it was like, boom, here's your point. What are you doing tomorrow? Nothing. Okay, let's go hunt.
Yeah.
It was easy, you know? It wasn't the whole like, well, you know, what's the weather doing around you right now? That's why I struggle calling my parents, but we still make that happen.
It's the exact opposite for me. That's why, like, when people text me, it's like, dude, I know that I've got a problem because you, Lindsay Davis, Jesse Griffiths have all – dude, Jesse was like, dude, I thought you were really mad at me or something. I was like, nah, dog, I got personal problems, man, and text messaging gives me anxiety. You know, but, like, I got no problem talking on the phone, but then you deal with, like, friends of mine like Jimmy or Lydia, man, they're, you know, in their 20s, and, like, they're offended if you call them.
What's wrong? What happened?
Yeah, they want to text, and it's like, man, if I got to have more than a 1-2 text exchange, like, I won't do it.
No, like the conversation text I'm not into at all.
Or the long text.
Yeah, the like
voicing displeasure with your spouse.
Paragraph. But no, I'd rather do this. I'd rather sit and drink a beer and hang out with my buddy.
Oh, my God, how did this beer get in my hand?
Oh, goodness gracious. And you're going to go experience sake now for the...
Yeah, man, there's been some good beers on this trip, dude. I do feel like it will dry up a bit after you're... Because
I need to dry up too, which would be nice if we go.
You're on your phone all the time. Oh, there's a Chevron over at this exit, and they probably have some beers. But anyway, well, yeah, dude. Thanks a bunch for spending the week with me, man. Love you, bud.
I love you too.
All right, and thanks for listening, everybody. Until next time. Thanks so much, everybody, for listening all the way through to this episode of the Black Duck Revival podcast. As always, produced by me, Jonathan Wilkins, and Brian Sachs. Keep up with everything Black Duck Revival by going to the website. That's just blackduckrevival.com. Or follow along on social media at Instagram. The handle is Black Duck Revival. You can see what's going on with Turkey Tour /Turkey Bebop. See where I'm at, see what food I'm cooking. There'll be recipes. There'll be links to podcasts. Everything good, everything wonderful, everything Black Duck Revival. Check it out there. Please, if you enjoy the podcast, leave a review over on Spotify or Apple. Share the podcast with your friends, folks in your community, anybody that you think might enjoy these conversations and find something resonant within them. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.